My name is Nate. My Instagram is Nate Poi. I'm 24. I don't know where to say I'm from. I live in Utah. I've lived in Utah for a long time. It's where I live now, but I don't know how long I'll be here. My favorite prop to spin is Poi. My roommate actually came home from Element 11, which is the regional burn here in Utah. He just had a pair of sock Poi. It was like the classic like black and white striped sock Poi. And I picked him up, learned like a butterfly and a 3-beat weave, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, I just like made something happen with like, you know, some physical objects. Like that's cool that I was able to figure that out. The initial like barrier to entry kind of got me for a second. I was just like, oh, it's like kind of hard to really get started. But I started working somewhere that had like ladder golf things. You know, those are like, they have like 2 balls on the end of them. I just started picking those up and spinning them, like doing a weave, because I was like, oh, I know how to do this. And then I like looked up a YouTube tutorial like at work on like the backwards 3-beat weave and learned them with those like ladder golf things. And I was like, this is so fun. Like I can do this in order to pair a pod poi. When you hear the scientific statement of what the flow state is, it's like the point where difficulty and your ability meet. It's a challenge, but you can do it. And that creates that flow state in a scientific sense. But from like an experience, it's totally different. It's euphoric. The experience of a flow state is just like smooth and you don't have to think about it. It all happens seamlessly. It's almost like you're a program that's like been played. You're not doing it yourself. Flow affects my everyday life because flow was part of my life before I found Poi, before I found flow arts. I like to flow however possible, like with my mind, with my body. Whenever I'm trying to move anywhere, I like to move fluidly. And so I think when I found a hobby that could express that interest, it just clicked for me. The way I found Flow on Fire, I don't know if I can pinpoint an exact time, but I just started to notice it seemed to happen really quickly that I saw it everywhere. There's just like a bunch of people that were like, oh, Flow on Fire props, Flow on Fire props. Started to see a few people who were sponsored by them. Most of them I was very inspired by, like Austin, Logan, you know. So I was very interested in being sponsored by Flow on Fire. So I started to just try to get their attention by posting videos frequently, trying to improve the quality of my videos, pushing myself to learn new stuff all the time, which I was already in the mood of. When I first started spinning Poi, like I wanted to learn everything. I wanted to know all the moves. And of course you get to a point where you realize that's not possible. And I think that's when you really start to find your own style. At least that's how it was for me. I stopped the drilling and I started to just, you know, what do I do? What comes out of my flow naturally? Yeah, so Austin actually commented on one of my posts one day randomly. He was like, hey, do you live anywhere near Utah? And I was like, yeah, I live in Utah. And so he's like, cool, we got to meet up sometime. And I think we just kind of like talked back and forth for a minute. We just started talking about like Flow on Fire, and I think there was like some qualifications, and so then I like talked to Austin about that, and eventually I got a message from Britt and was like, hey, we want you on the team. And I was just instantly like, yes, like I'm on the team, I'm finally like sponsored. I love the feeling that I'm probably part of the most elite flow team in the planet. Like that's awesome. I love everyone who's on our team, and we're constantly adding new people, but all of those people are like still the best people in the world. They think about you and they think about like what'll make you smile when you get a package. I love that, it's just awesome. I'm not so interested in getting a video up every week anymore. I'm more so interested in like exploring over a few months and finding some tricks that I like and then posting those. And I think that's really cool to be able to do and just inspire people and show people what's possible with a prop. In the future, you know, who knows, I'm just gonna go with the flow. I don't sit down intentionally to try to get better at Poi very often anymore, but most of my flow has just been inspired by like, I feel like spinning right now, and I pick up my Poi and I spin. And then sometimes you find new moves. Sometimes you decide, hey, this could be cool if I intentionally like take this to a next step. Oftentimes I'll be working on something else and I'll just stand up and I need a break and I pick up my pair of Poi, and that helps me think, and then I learn something new on Poi too, and yeah, it's a good flow.